Now, before we go to our dialogue of this week, let's take a background of our topic. In his inaugural speech as the country's 8th president in October 20th, President Prabowo Subianto highlighted the importance of achieving self-sufficiency in food production and growing uncertainties in the world.
The red and white cabinet established by newly installed President Prabowo Subianto has already prepared strategies to achieve food self-sufficiency, such as through the continuation of the food state programs initiated by his predecessor, Joko Widodo. The new government is targeting the opening of additional food crop areas of about 4 million hectares by 2029 to boost food production. With such programs, Prabowo believes the self-sufficiency can be achieved in 4 to 5 years, at least for rice production. The self-sufficiency program in food production is unveiled amid the decline in rice production due to the prolonged drought. Statistics Indonesia, or BPS, estimates that the rice production will fall further by 760,000 tons this year to 30.34 million tons this year. In 2023, the rice production slightly fell to 31.10 million tons from 31.54 million tons in 2022. Meanwhile, rice consumption, which temporarily declined during the 2021 pandemic year, increased again to 35.7 million tons in 2023. To achieve this vision, Prabowo has retained Andi Amran Sulaiman as Agriculture Minister in his red and white cabinet. Amran, who served in the same role during the previous administration, will spearhead the nation's drive for food independence. Amran also served as Agriculture Minister Joko Widodo's first term in 2014 to 2019. During his tenure, Amran successfully implemented various flagship programs, resulting in rice self-sufficiency in 2017, 2019, and 2020. Indonesia needs to ensure self-sufficiency in food production amid rising geopolitical risks and climate changes, which disrupt global food supply chains. In addition to rice, Indonesia also still imports a significant amount of corn, wheat, and sugar to meet the domestic demand. To meet the production deficit, the government has opened dozens of food estates in a number of provinces such as in Java, North Sumatra, Central Kalimantan, East Nusa Tenggara, and Papua to produce rice, corns, cassava, soybeans, and several other commodities. The food program is intended to reduce import. However, none of them have progressed well, and many agriculture experts consider the program has failed. According to BPS, Indonesia has imported 3.05 million tons of rice from January to August 2024. This represents a 121.34% increase in rice imports compared to the same period last year. Indonesia also still imports a significant amount of sugar and wheat flour. Agricultural experts have said that if the Prabowo government will continue the food estate program, it should conduct a careful planning so as not to repeat the same mistakes that occurred in the past. The food estate project must be based on a comprehensive study of the soil, climate, and socio-economic conditions of the regions, and pay attention to environmental aspects and prevent damage to the ecosystem. The government should also involve farmers, and they should become the spearhead of any efforts in rising food production so that the program will also help improve the farmers' welfare.
Let's now go to our dialogue for this edition of Economic Outlook. One of the priority program of our new President Prabowo Subianto is to achieve self-efficiency in food production during his 5-year term in the office. However, this has draws a lot of pros and cons. And joining us today is Professor Dwi Andreas Santosa, an agricultural expert at IPB University, Bogor, and he will share his insight and expertise on the opportunities and challenges on the food self-sufficiency plan. Thank you so much for being here, Professor Dwi from Bogor, to talk about food sufficiency. This has been one of the top priorities of the government of President Prabowo Subianto, and he has mentioned that he has targeted to achieve food sufficiency for Indonesia in the next 5 years of his government. Do you think this target is actually achievable? What is your opinion on this food self-sufficiency program?
Okay, the food self-sufficiency program is not only in the current government. Almost every government in Indonesia have a food self-sufficiency program as a target, as a political promises. This one, and if I think we should talk about the definition of food self-sufficiency. What is food self-sufficiency? Food self-sufficiency, the meaning of food self-sufficiency is 90% of the food consumed by the peoples produced by a domestic farmer. 90%, and 10% can be imported from another country. Let's to look about wheat. Right now, currently, today, we consume wheat almost 28% from all staple food consumed by the people in Indonesia. What's mean? It's more than 10%. It's mean the food self-sufficiency program, it cannot, it's really impossible, because we consume wheat right now 28%. And what about the latest government, Jokowi government? Jokowi government also has a food self-sufficiency program. And they targeted during 2 years, not 5 years, we will self-sufficiency on 3 commodities, namely rice, and then soybean, and then corn. And what happens? Rice in 2015, in the start of the program, we import rice around 0.9 million tons of rice. And then 1 year after that, in 2016, we increased the import of rice. It's increased to 1.3 million tons of rice.
We increase the import.
Increase import. And then in 2018, the import of rice jumped to 2.3 million tons.
Wow.
And how about the corn, for example? Corn in 2016, the government reduced corn import from another country, how much? 2.2 million tons. From 3.5 million tons to 1.3 million tons import of corn. But the import of wheat for feed increased very huge, around 3 million tons. This one is about corn. And then how about the soybean? The soybean, for example, in the beginning of the program, import of soybean in 2014 is around 5.0 million tons of soybean, and then increase in 2015 to 6.4 million tons, and then in 2017 close to 7 million tons.
Wow.
And that's one fact, the reality about this program. And then also during the government, Jokowi government, the price, the paddy decreased. The production of paddy, the production of paddy decreased around 1.04% per year, not during 10 years. Per year, reduce 1.0%. And this means, and also the import of food. The import of food during the time that in the last 10 years, almost doubles, from 10.1 million, 10.1 billion US dollar to 18.8 billion US dollar.
So almost double.
Yes. Almost double during 10 years. That is the fact between the promise and the reality. The promise is far away, the reality is far away from the promises.
Okay, so based on the statistics that you have mentioned just now, Professor, it seems that like you said just now, the
Yeah.
target of achieving
Yeah.
self-sufficiency in
Yeah.
food for the
Yes.
next 5 years is,
Yes.
as you quote just now, impossible.
Yes.
However, the
Impossible.
current government is still saying that they are still planning to open more food estates in Indonesia, while we have seen that this food estate program has failed so many
Yes.
times.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Why
Yes.
are
Yes.
they still pushing this food estate program, and is it still relevant to pursue?
Yes, yes. Okay, you are right that the entire food estate program during 26 years, the entire food estate program during 26 years failed. And also I was as a member of what called environmental risk analysis for one project in 1996 to 1998 in Kalimantan. The government want to develop rice field in central Kalimantan, covering area of 1 million hectare. And then, yeah, what is the result? The result is the damage of the environment, and then also tremendous damage of forests, as well as what about the field, the rice field there? Yeah, almost nothing until now.
Then why are we still pursuing this, Professor?
Yes, yes. At that time, we just discussed with the government. This program will have a huge risk. And that one is 1 million hectare rice estate program, rice program in central Kalimantan, in pit soil. And then during the SPY, Susilo Bambang Yudhoyono administration, he developed a 3 rice program, 3 food estate program. First one is we call MIFE, Merauke Integrated Food and Energy Estate. Covering area of 1.23 million hectare. And then also the second one is rice estate in Ketapang. Ketapang is in West Kalimantan. Yeah. Ketapang, how much is around 100,000 hectare. And then the other program, the third program in Bulungan, around cover area of around 300,000 hectare. All rice estate program during the SP government failed.
What is the reason behind it, Pak? What is the reason behind the failure of all of these food estate programs?
Before that, I would like to also say that during the government and the Jokowi government also, he developed the rice estate program in Merauke. How much? 1.2 million hectare. And also several rice estate program or food estate program in several area during 2020 to 2023. All failed. And why? The question is very interesting question. Why? All of food estate program violates academic principles. That is the problem. To develop agriculture land in large area, we have to fulfill 4 pillars. The first pillar is suitability of land and also agroclimate. The second pillar is about infrastructure. We have to develop infrastructure, not only irrigation, for example, also, for example, farming road or farmer road. And the third is about cultivation and technology. Whether we have variety, plant variety that suitable for that area, and then also we also prepare a kind of fertilizer, whether the fertilizer can reach the area, and in amount the farmer need, and also how to combat, for example, the pests. Because very, very difficult also if we open a new area, and then pests will be a very, very big problem. We have technology or not about that thing. And the fourth is also very, very important, is social and economic aspect. We heard about this one in Merauke or in another area. The social aspect is very, very important. For example, if we want to develop 1 million hectare of rice field, we need 1 million farmer. How come? For example, in Merauke, the population of Merauke 124,000.
Okay. So
and then the local population is only 55,000.
So this is not well planned.
Yes,
obviously.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, with all these failures of the food estate programs that has happened for the past 26 years, what do you think would be the solution then if we are still to achieve self-sufficient in the food program?
Yes, for the food estate program, my answer is firm. My answer is very firm, that the government must cancel this program.
Okay.
Very firm, because we should learn during these 26 years, nothing's happened. No food estate program successful. There is no, and that's why I just propose the government must cancel this food estate program in Indonesia, because we just spent tens of trillion, even hundreds of trillion rupiahs for 26 years. For develop food estate program that at the end is fail, all fail. And how what we can do? I mean, what we can do to increase the productivity, to increase the production of food. There are still several manner to increase the food production in Indonesia. For example, current rice productivity in Indonesia is only 5.1 to 5.3 tons of rice per hectare per season, of course. We are below the Vietnam. During 2000, the years of 2001, we are the top rice productivity in Asian country. And then after 2000, the Vietnam surpasses Indonesia, and then right now productivity of rice of Vietnam is around 6.0 to 6.1 tons per hectare. I have also during 2020 to 2021 we have trials on PT Sangyang Sri, PT Sangyang Sri in Sukamandi. And we can increase the productivity of rice productivity around 30%.
Okay.
In PT Sangyang Sri. It means we have chance to increase the productivity through better technology, better varieties, and so on.
Okay.
This one and the first one. And the second one, the planting index in Indonesia right now is only 1.4. What mean planting index? We can plant rice in a year, find 1.4 times. And then the planting index we can increase to through, for example, development of new irrigation, and then and so on. This one the method. And the other things also, for example, about the increase of production in PT Sangyang Sri, we have a trial on 1,000 hectare. Not only 1 hectare, 2 hectare, but in really big area, and the increased production is 30%. It means if we can increase the productivity of rice in Indonesia, production of rice 10%, it will be no problem for the Indonesian future.
So, Professor Dwi, I get your point here that you are very firm on saying that the government should actually cancel the program on food self-sufficiency because it's impossible to achieve at this point. But however, we should just focus on increasing productivity and planting index in Indonesia. Thank you so much for your opinions right there, and we're happy to have you back again next time on Economic Outlook. Thank you so much for your insight.